What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the workshop. We're nearly there. This one's going to be about installing the driver, doing the wiring, and closing it all up. First, I'm going to drop the driver in. I'm using hex head bolts with a washer and a lock washer. I start by threading these in loosely by hand so that I can move the driver a little bit if I need to, make sure that all the holes line up with my threaded inserts. This driver has 8 bolts total, so I'll do 4, skipping every other one, and then I'll do the last 4. And once all of them are in, I'll continue to hand tighten until I meet resistance. Then I'll start to tighten everything down, generally doing about 1 turn of the bolt at a time and continuing to skip every other bolt. The goal here is to make sure that it's installed with even pressure throughout and to avoid over tightening any single bolt. There's a rubber gasket that will compress to form an airtight seal, but you don't need to tighten it so much that the actual metal basket of the driver is touching the wood. You're just trying to squish this gasket to make the airtight seal. If you're trying to push the metal basket all the way to the wood, I'd consider that over tightening these bolts, and you could risk bending the metal frame of the driver. For this particular build, I'm using a BNC 21SW152-4, and it has push spring connectors that will accept raw speaker wire. I'll roughly figure out about how much length I need. And for this build, and my recommendation for all the subwoofers that I do, is to use 12 gauge stranded oxygen-free copper. And we'll be connecting this wire to 2 Nutric NL4 speak-on jacks. Nutric is the brand, and I recommend just going ahead and paying the little extra for the name brand. NL4s can accept up to 2 audio signals through 2 sets of positive and negative terminals. So these have a +1, -1, and a +2, -2. For our subwoofer, we'll only be using the +1, -1 connections. We'll install 2 of these speak-on jacks so that the speaker could be daisy chained together. I'll install a thin strip of gasket tape around the speak-on jack. I believe this is a possible point of air leak, and we want this cabinet to be totally airtight. It might be overkill, but I do it. These bolts are really just passing straight through the plastic and the metal jack plate, so I'm using some extra threaded inserts as nuts for these bolts. I'll repeat this process for the second speak-on jack, and then I'll use a blade to remove any of the gasket tape that's visible. And now it's time to do some very basic electrical work. I'll strip the ends of these wires leading from the driver and repeat the process for a small run that goes between the 2 speak-on jacks. I'll use crimp spade connectors. You can find these at automotive stores. These ones are 4.8 millimeters spade connectors, which I think is about 3/16 of an inch. Crimp these onto your raw wire, and I'll do them perpendicular to each other since that's the layout of the speak-on jacks. Then I'll add electrical tape. I'm going to splice these 2 wires together by twisting, and I'll also add another spade connector and electrical tape. This is what your final assembly should look like. I didn't get a good video from the actual driver that's installed, but these are what the spring terminals are like. You just push them down, and there's a hole, and you can pass the speaker wire through it. And when the spring releases, it clamps onto the wire. So load the wire into the driver's spring terminals. And I like to have at least 1 attachment point inside of the cabinet to try to minimize any mechanical strain on these terminal connections. I couldn't find my hammer, so this wrench became a hammer. Drop your access panel in and then pull the wire through. We'll make our final attachment to the spade connectors and screw it down. This speak-on plate also gets gasket tape around the joint. I'll attach my access hatch panel. I'll do this similar to how I attach the driver. I'll skip every other bolt to try not to put too much force down on any one point of contact. And ultimately the goal here is to have the edge of the access panel slightly recessed from the rear panel. It's such a tight fit with this driver in this cabinet that I'm gonna install these handles at the very end. And that's it. The build's finished and you're ready to blast some bass. I plan to do one final video in the Skram series where I'll take some measurements and also integrate it with a top speaker. And then it's time to start the next build. For the next series, I'm gonna work on what I consider a cutting edge multiple entry horn from designer JW Sound called the JMOD. There's not much else like it out there in the DIY space. As far as I know, all of the JMODs that are out there have been cut by CNC, but I'll show you how to do it in a more traditional wood shop in case you don't have access to a CNC or you just like making sawdust like me. Thanks for tuning in.